Today I'm going to be sharing my top tips for hanging wall art without causing any additional damage to the walls. The first thing you'll need is part of the packaging that your frame or art came in. The next tool I use is the Black & Decker Bullseye. Not only does this tool locate the studs for you, but it also has a laser feature that allows you to hang your art perfectly straight without putting additional markings or lines on your wall. The last two things I use to hang my wall art are a piece of chalk rather than a pen or a pencil because you can easily wipe it off with the wall. And of course, you'll need some sort of ruler or tape measure. I'm going to be hanging 3 frames today, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is measuring out the wall and finding the perfect center. As you can see, I marked the center of the wall with a piece of painter's tape. This will be a guide for me as I figure out where I want to place the frames on the wall. The next thing I'll be doing is using the packaging to place the frames on the wall to figure out where I want them to go. If you didn't order your product online, you could use the paper that comes in the back of the frame. Anything that's the size of your frame will do. As you can see, this helps give you a visual of the height and the spacing that you want for your frames without making holes in your walls and making mistakes along the way. Now that I've got my frames hanging just where I want them, I'll use the chalk to mark one of them and the bullseye laser feature to help me mark the other ones. As I mentioned earlier, today I'm going to be hanging frames from Highland Hardware that are made completely of plexiglass, so they don't actually have a frame to hang on. That means I won't be just putting a single nail hole in the wall. I actually have to put 4 screws in my wall. But in this tutorial, you'll see how I use that laser feature. You'll see how I use that laser feature to get my measurements just right without having to use tape measures or rulers and pencils on my wall. Now that I have the markings done for my first frame, I'm going to use the laser tool to mark the other markings for the other frames before I actually hang the frame on the wall. That way I can use the laser to make sure that all my markings are perfectly even. Stay tuned for a full entryway makeover before and after reveal. You don't want to miss it.